Also here, I could send it to you in Skype.
The video, or would you want to?
Mostly this.
Okay.
This is what I tend to teach people when I coach them or have them focus on mostly.
Alright.
Yeah, it's just a list of fundamentals. Like, what I most hope to get from the session is to improve I, uh, the way I coach people and teach people mostly.
Okay.
Like, not exactly what I need to learn, but like
Right.
how to,
How to convey it.
yeah, like how to learn and like how to teach.
All right,
Because
here.
I'm pretty good at Blitzcrank, but I suck at Janna, and so as well as teaching myself Janna, I want to teach other people because Janna's very popular and people
Right.
like want to learn it. But I feel like, well, I'm not that good, so I feel like I'm doing you a disservice teaching you Janna when I have like a 51% win rate on Janna,
Right.
and not even at this season. So
Here, join my session.
okay.
Do you usually go over replays, or how do you typically coach?
I tell people, it's funny because I tell people the same thing, that they shouldn't go over their replays, or if they do, they should go with someone like as high up as possible, like within the high diamonds at least, because they don't know what's happening.
Right.
And also, if they look over replays, like, and they try to find what's wrong, well, everything is wrong because
Right. Join my
we're
side.
so new. Yep. Okay. One sec, I have to get something out the microwave, but I'm still here. Okay.
Join my side.
Join your side?
Okay. Yeah. I'll pick Janna. Just pick like an ADC. It doesn't matter who. Typically, when I teach Janna, or when I coach in general.
The Tempest is at your command.
I'm going over. Oh shit.
Does ADC kill count?
Yeah, it's fine. Doesn't really matter.
Right.
I have a support pitch. I usually go over like a replay with them, and because I like to share it, on my point of view, like Skype, so I'll share screen it, watch the replay with them, and then I'll use my mouse and I just downloaded a third-party app to like kind of draw on it as I'm going to try and show them, their positioning mistakes or what they need to be doing.
Oh, what the heck? You can do that?
Yeah, it's called like I forgot to download. It's called EpiPen, I think.
Oh, look into that.
Or it's like, hold on, let me go. Someone reviewed me and wrote it on my thing, and then they told me again about it the other day and explained it, and it sounded really, really nice.
So you said one of the methods you used that helped you best learn was playing fives, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Joining a rank 5 team, playing on the rank 5 team, practicing, stuff like that. Zanoob, hey, welcome to the stream, man. Hopefully we can teach you some stuff. I'm actually going to be going a little bit over Janna right now. Since we don't have a replay to really watch, or anything like that, I'll just kind of show you, firsthand what I teach people, okay?
Okay. I'm mostly playing a lot of Kale and Blitzcrank lately, so that's why I'm trying to just spam Kale in all these roles.
Alright.
Just to get better.
Alright, so the very first thing, anyone can play Janna, and that's what I try and stress to them. Anyone can press E sit back and press E on a champion, you know, use their nados, stuff like that. But I always say that she has a very high skill cap. Like, anyone can play Janna, but you really have to understand her to play her effectively, okay? So, starting off, like, being on blue side, right? So, this is what we'll wait for the minions to come. First of all, you see this pathing that, like, these rocks were standing on in the middle?
Yep.
I use this often as a visual moniker because it goes along with the lane. But we'll get into that in a bit. So, right off the bat, I say, okay, so, you know, we're coming, leashing, and then we come in a lane. And what I say is, your general idea is to either E yourself and auto the enemy support or the enemy ADC to start getting your the Spell Thief's Edge counter going, right? The earlier your pocket, the earlier the cooldown goes, and you can just start generating more gold, right?
Yep.
And then I say you want to just start autoing the minions as fastly as possible and try and get to level 2 as quickly as possible. It takes 9 minions to get to level 2 in bot lane. So the first 3 melee minions are going to be the ones that you really want to focus on in the second wave. So I try and stress that to them as well, okay? Because any duo bot, or any bot lane in general, getting level 2 first is imperative. Even if, like, your level 2 is weaker, it helps out because you getting it first alleviates pressure, right?
The race.
Right, it's just basically a race. And then this is where I start showing positioning, okay? Don't auto anything. So, when you're an ADC, right, what I try and first say is, okay, look at the rocks, okay? See how they start curving down?
Yep.
Okay? See the position of, like, the middle of this rock, which minions typically follow. From here to this wall, right? You see the distance? See how short it is? So if you're positioning over here, this is strict movement that you're gonna have, okay? So if you're ADC or your support, because I coach both, I say if you're positioning over here, this is bad, okay? Because when you have a Blitzcrank or a Morgana or a Thresh, and you're sitting up here, if you, like, come up for one auto, throw it, and you try and get out, well, you're gonna run into minions, and that's where you get hooked or grabbed, okay? There's a lot of strict movement right here, all right? The distance between the middle of this lane and over here is a lot bigger, and the minions don't even come over on this side. So your positioning should actually be over on this side, because it's easier to dodge skill shots, and it gives you a lot more room to work with. You can kite backwards, you know, dodge the hook that way, you can go left, right. Over here, you're pretty much restricted to going, like, within a small square area, okay? Okay, so I try and stress that to them, because...
I go over there all the time.
Yeah.
That's really useful.
Yeah, you see how hard it is just for even us, like, to just kind of walk out of this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I stress that to them because I say that's important. And then conversely, it's pretty much the same thing on the red side. All right. Just opposite sides. Then they also don't, and this is also I tell them, you know, if you want to go in a custom game, you know, it's really nice to see where, you know, the towers lie, the tower range, because it's these flowers to, like, I try and stick where this flower is, and then, like, minions are kind of blocking it. And then these pink flowers. So I say, like, try and, like, these flowers are here for a reason. These purple ones right here, these red ones right here, and these yellow ones right here. These are there for a reason to show you that that's the tower range. And I try and show, like, use visual monikers to show them that, okay? But I say, otherwise, just go into custom and you'll see kind of what I'm talking about. When it comes to Janna, though, this is where the heavy importance comes down. This is where positioning makes or breaks, like, bot lane. Say we're playing aggro, right? Okay? And we're playing aggro. We're going to be playing on this right side, correct? Because this is mechanically the right thing to do. Alright, so you're playing as an ADC. This is where I need a position. So I'm still playing on the right side of these rocks, but I'm playing towards the left of you. Okay? And this is very important because walk over here. Look at your move speed. 335. Now walk towards me. 362. Okay? I'm positioning myself so that you have a constant rate of move speed by going this way. Okay? Now, if I positioned, you know, if you were up here, okay, and I'm sitting right next to you, if you move that way, you get nothing. All right, you're moving at a slower base move speed than you would if I'm in front of you. Therefore, I'm not benefiting you any. Now, if we're playing aggro and I'm playing up front, like this is ranked team, like and we're trying to initiate this, I would sit up front because I'm trying to give my team, quicker, distance of getting into you. But if we're playing in this lane, I'm offering you an escape simply by just walking. Okay, and nobody really realizes this, and I don't understand why. Because 30 move speed at level 1 is fucking crazy. It's just fucking crazy. Excuse my language. Okay.
That's fine.
But even then, when we're playing in this lane, like, say we're over here, right? Minion wave stalled. Alright, so say it's like level 2, okay? I'm positioning myself forward and on the right, okay? The reason why I'm positioning myself forward and on the right in the middle of the lane when we're trying to be aggro is because I'm giving you the movement speed bonus to get over here quicker, to close the gap quicker, to engage, or to get off extra autos, okay? So you pretty much sit in the front and on the right when you're trying to be aggro, so like use this rock in like the wall, okay? And then when you're trying to be, conservative and try and offer escape, like if you don't have wards over here and you don't know if the jungler's coming, that's where you play back. And you offer this escape, okay? It's like imperative, and I try and knock that into all of them. Like if there's anything to know, anything to know about Janna, it's that her passive makes or breaks her. Like the ability of the person and her positioning, because the application of her passive is what makes like her strong. Like, and especially when you get captain boots, 18% move speed. Oh my god, ridiculous. Okay. So I don't know if you really go into that in your sessions, but I heavily recommend it because I think Janna, like, what are people gonna do? They're gonna go to like champion.gg, go to supports. They're gonna see Janna's up there. They're gonna learn to, anyone can play Janna, but they're not gonna be playing her like to the best of her abilities, like that they can be playing her. Now, when we're playing defensively, this is where you just kind of sit in the back, so you're offering them a way, to dodge skill shots, stuff like that. And since this is very vertical, this is very, kind of, linear. It doesn't really matter. As long as I'm behind you, you're going to get the move speed bonus. But over here, this is where I got to start playing angles to the left. If you're over here, I still play, like, straight down, because you're going to be able to walk, this. I can't issue any more pings, but downwards, right?
Right.
And that's something I heavily stress to people. I don't really go into things like mouse mechanics or like speed acceleration or anything like that, or even like lane swaps, because lane swaps just don't happen in solo queue. What I mainly do is I try and teach them the basics of continuously having your spell thieves, like, trying to never have it be at 3 stacks, because at 3 stacks you're not getting gold. Always have it at 1 or 2 or 0, so it's continuously going up, so you're continuously getting gold. Always use war charges whenever you have them. You should always have a pink in your pocket. So it's just pretty much the basics, because support overall is just the most misplayed role in League of Legends, because what do people do? They play Phil, if they do pick, if they do pick support, it's because they're duo, but that doesn't necessarily mean they main support. And even the support mains still don't understand a lot of these concepts. They'll play like Alistar, and they will build like Dead Man's Plate. And it's like, no, don't do that, that's not what you do. But that's pretty much mainly what I go over during like laning phase, so then I'll go over like Winter Roam and shit, and like wave management. But I try not to get too in depth. It depends on the rank of the player. Like if they're like a diamond or like a plat ADC or support, then I'll like go into like the crazy shit. But then like if they're like silver or bronze or gold, like I'll just go over the basics that they don't like, simple things like. And it's crazy. Like I always ask them, and it's like the easiest question: how many champions are on the enemy team? 5. Okay, if you see 4 of them on the map, that means your odds of running into the other one are very slim, because you can pretty much guess where they are. Like, if it's the ADC, I guarantee he's going to be on the bottom side of the map. So you're okay to roam, this way, or you're okay to come in here and throw it on a bush, or throw it on a ward in a bush, or wherever. Like, if you see 4 people over here, or yeah, over here, you know, and the ADC ain't there, well, he's probably either walking to the fight or he's going to where the biggest farm is. So you're okay to roam in that situation, like, and get wards down if they don't need you. Shit like that, they don't really think about, you know.
Yeah.
That's mainly what I go over. Do you have any questions?
I have one question. So going over what you do go over, if you had to teach a bronze or silver, a bronze or silver player, what are some of the fundamentals that you feel would be most crucial?
Depends. Okay, on support or yeah, we're just.
I mean, let me rephrase that a little bit because that's a really broad question.
Yeah.
So like, mainly with their spacing, like spacing in particular with support because that's really big. Like, would you just go over training stance in a general thing? So what I usually do is I just go into training stance and I say you should learn the bread and butter combos for all your supports because the bread and butters are very important, and learn what their objective is in lane because it's always different.
Yeah, so yeah, I asked them like mainly what we'll do is we'll go over replay, right? And before that, I look at their op.gg. I try and get a sense of how they play. Like, if they have low KDAs, it's probably because they get caught out, or they just overextend, or, just do, like, stuff that they're not thinking ahead. So, I try and get a sense of how they play beforehand. And then, we'll pick a replay where I think they're pretty comfortable on a champion. Because if you watch a replay on someone who has, like, 50 games on ROM, or, Alice or something, they understand the champion pretty well, even if they're like bronze 2, they still, they can probably get the WQ off a couple times, and I'm not worried about them hitting it 10 out of 10, like that's no concern to me. But the thing is, they still don't understand the core ideas of when to roam, or when it is okay to be like just sitting in lane doing nothing, even like when you're playing Alistair and you should be aggro, like, and I'll go over, like, conditions like, okay, you have a Vayne, like, you guys are losing these trades, that's fine, you don't want to trade, you just want to farm, like, they have a Draven, shit like that. Oops, sorry. But I try and, like, really hammer in what I think they need to work on the most, whether it's, like, auto spacing, and if you're talking about, like, spacing and stuff, what I'll say is, do you have range indicators on, yes or no? If they say yes, then, or if they say no, then I say, okay, turn them on, and then what you do is, you, like, see I'm playing Janna right now, right? So, I'll play to, like, the max range of my shield, like, as much as possible. That way I'm distancing myself, as much as possible, without, getting in danger. So I'll, like, what I'll say is, what you can do to practice this is just walk around them and have E, and just hold E down, so that, like, you see the bubble, and you're just keeping it to the max range of that bubble, okay? And I'll say that's, like, good practice. Now, if you're an ADC, that's when you, like, you use your attack move, and you look at your auto attack range, and you just, the way you practice that is you auto the minions at the max range possible, and that becomes habitual over time. That's muscle memory, depending on which, and then I'll say, like, good champions to practice that are on, like, Kate, Stana, champions like that. But I mean, every player is different, and everyone else needs to learn something else. So, some people have good macro sense, even at, like, the silver and bronze levels. Some people have, pretty good idea of how the game goes and what they should be buying. They just don't understand, like, when to take advantages and how to push their lead and stuff like that. So it kind of just depends on the person. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds like it's, like, more of the core concepts of League.
Yeah, because honestly, I think core concepts aren't even that valued. Like, and I don't understand why. Like, the core, like, people, like, and I say this all the time, I'm like, you guys, like, there's zero reason to be going in and looking at micro, like, gameplay and trying to, space better between your movements and auto and shit like that. Like that'll help you, yeah, like as a mechanical person, but that doesn't give you the understanding, if you take a mechanical person, like say you and me, right? Like you're a more mechanical person than I am, okay? We'll say like we'll both play Vayne. You're a better mechanical player at Vayne than me, all right? But I have a better macro sense and I have a better game knowledge than you, right? Well, I'm not going to put myself in a position to die. Like if I don't feel like I can take it, then I'm not going to put myself in a position to die. If I like queue over to this wall and I see you start to condemn, well, I'll flash away. So I'm preparing myself mentally to not put myself in a position to die to you, because I know that that's what you're going to be trying to do, or something like that. Like if you're a support, you shouldn't be putting yourself in a position to die and lose a lead for your team. You should be not worried about like mechanical spacing and stuff like that. You should be worried about like putting yourself and your team in situations where you guys can succeed to the maximum ability in your efforts. Like that's what a support does. A support doesn't worry about like direct input or anything like super mechanical like that. That you're worried about the macro sense. You're worried about like as soon as you like see dragon spawning in a minute 20, you're worried about going warding, getting a pink, throwing down all 3 wards, and then going and getting your war charges back so that you can place them again if you need to during the dragon fight or when dragon fight's being stalled. Like that is core because people don't do that, and it's very common. And that's just me as a person though. I think that's more important than macro gameplay. Like anyone can say different than me, and I'm not gonna discourage them for thinking that or anything like that. It's just my personal belief and my personal view.
Okay.
Makes sense? You get what I'm saying though?
Yep. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Alright, I'm gonna exit the custom game.
Okay.
We can keep talking though if you'd like.
Yeah, this is definitely helping a lot. Like most of the stuff that I wanted some of the fundamental Janna stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and you gave me a lot of that, and a lot of it was just like improving myself as a coach, like leveling up coaching, and seeing especially how higher ranked players coach and what you feel is fundamental to learning.
I mean, just from just from what I've been coached and what how I've coached other people, and I tell them, I'm like, look, I'm coaching you for an hour. You're not gonna become diamond material in an hour. Like you're gonna have to work at this. Like and I can always tell when I coach people who's gonna get it right and who's gonna get it wrong. Like the people who are more on hands with me and will ask questions like you have been, or like people who are trying to learn, I can tell and I'm like, okay, they're gonna climb. Or I'll have people who don't talk at all. They don't ask any questions. Some will argue with me saying I'm wrong, and I'm like, okay, no, you're not. You're bronze 2, and you're saying that Dead Man's Plate on Alistair is better than a Frozen Heart for your team. That's fine. All right.
Rip.
Yeah, and that's where I'm just like, okay, that's fine. You don't want to learn. You're not willing to learn from your mistakes, and if you can't learn from your mistakes as a person or a player, you're not going to improve ever. And I try and stress that to everyone, as much as possible. And anytime I stream, I try and keep it very educational. Oh my god, my week. Very educational. Because I me as a coach, I don't know if you charge. I'm charging right now $10 just because I'm graduating from college in the next 3-4 weeks, so I'm swamped with homework. But everything's pretty much free. That I offer. But so I'm just trying to help the community become better because I'm tired of the Koreans winning everything. Kappa. Kappa. But you know what I mean? I just think that people don't really respect macro gameplay and macro ideas, and I think if you're a support, you have to have the knowledge and macro head, to improve your gameplay. Like, you can be the best like Alistair or Bard player, but like knowing when to roam and knowing when to push your lead and your advantages and where to ward and shit like that, that's where you're gonna get ahead. If you don't know how to do that, but you're like really mechanically good at Bard, like that's only gonna get you so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so, would you say that's one of people's biggest mistakes, or what are some mistakes you've noticed, just in climbing in general? Like, a lot of people they don't want to play to improve; they want to play to win, and then they just roll the dice on win-loss ratio.
I
What's the
think
point?
the general idea is, well, one thing I don't like dynamic queue. I think it's an incredible flaw in the system, but that's a whole different topic. I think that people play too many champions. Like, there's a difference between learning and climbing, and I try and distinct that between everybody. If you want to climb, play 3 champions, play the top 3 champions in the 2 roles, you'll climb. Bada bing, bada blue. Play Graves. You're gonna win. And I top. Sorry. If you want to learn, like, that's where you got to take the time to actually learn your role, learn matchups, play a couple different variety of champions. You're not just playing assassins in mid. You're not just playing LeBlanc and Zed and Talon in mid lane. You're playing Azir. You're playing fucking Diana. You're just playing a variety in your one role. You're not just playing one specific play style or one specific champion. You're learning the role through a different variety of ways. Not only to get better at each of these ways and play styles, even picking 2 champs that are kind of the same, like Xerath and Ziggs, both offer 2 fundamentally completely different things. If you look at them, even though, like, if you just look on the surface, you're like, okay, they both, do wave clear, and they both, are skill shot based. Okay, well, one is more reliant upon, like, a quick burst, and one is more about wave management and oppressing the enemy team with minions and like AoE abilities. So it's like, you look at these 2 different things, and one person might say, yeah, they're the same, and another is going to say, no, they're completely different. And people don't realize that. People don't understand that. I think people play way too many things. I had someone the other day who had like 150 games played, but they've played like 60 or 70 champions already. And it's like, well, that's why you're not climbing. You're playing 4 games on like Karma support when you're a top main. Like, what are you doing? It's just shit like that. Like, shit like that. But I just think people tilt too much. I think people don't. I think people are more focused on winning than they are focused on getting better. The rank will come when you get better. You know? Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I know I talk a lot, like when people ask questions.
That's really, really good.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right.
Yeah. So that's good.
Like, how long have you played League?
I've played League since season 3, so I consider myself really slow. Like, I always feel like I should be knowing more about the game than I am, and like I get really frustrated.
Yeah, man, it's no worries. The bit, like, honestly, if you want to like increase your knowledge on League and stuff, just watch LCK, watch Papa Smithy, watch Doa, and watch Monte Cristo, because in my opinion, they're like the best people to learn like League from, like from a casting and like coach perspective, because they go so in depth with everything, and it's just fantastic. Papa Smithy is a god. Like, I know everyone talks about like Doa and Monty, but like Papa Smithy knows his shit. You should definitely like try and find some casts with him in it.
Smithy?
Papa Smithy for the LCK, yeah.
I've never heard of.
Never heard of him?
Nope. I'll look at him now. I'll learn about him.
He's great.
The Hanjaro, Papa Smithy.
Yeah, Hanjaro. I played a couple games with him. He's a streamer on LoL Dash Coaching. He's like the most popular streamer I think on LoL Coaching, the website. He averages like 150 viewers. He's a support main. He's like Diamond D1. He was like D. I think he's D1 right now.
Holy crap!
But yeah, he's cool. Shit. Oh shit, we banned Graves. Now fight's banned. Oh, this is bad. Hold on, I'm freaking out. Gotta learn how to play Quinn real quick.
No Tarek top?
No Tarek top.
Not today.
not today. I'm gonna feed so hard. What rank am I? Mask Link. Right now. I'm like D5 trash. I was D3. I just haven't been playing. Oh, thank God. Oh yeah, or Last Shadow if you've ever watched Last Shadow.
Oh yeah, I watched Live with Last Shadow.
I just don't like. Sometimes it's hard to watch him because he has so much typing.
Sometimes he's kind of. I mean. Oh no! What were you? What were you gonna say?
He's just keyboard.
I think sometimes he can be a little too abrasive.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I feel you.
So yeah, there's that. I hope to be a Last Shadow someday, but not like Last Shadow. I just want to help people. I want to build like a resource for basic concepts. Like one of my things. This sounds really crazy, but I'm starting a group called MOBA Gods, where I hope to get like all these top 5% tier players in League and Dota and stuff like that, and then create like a community of people who focus and keep the best, like all these players who hope to learn the game, all these core concepts, and like break it down super duper good.
Swag, man.
Yeah.
Swag.
I want to be like the avatar of like MOBAs, and then like bring them all together.
It's the avatar of MOBAs.
Yeah, and like master all the elements. And so,
just become a god.
Yeah. Brinkley, get out of here! I'm being coachy. I'm sorry, that was my friend.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. It's all good, man.
Okay, good. Yeah, he's a troll in real life, so there's that.
It's all right, man. Some people can't be blessed with good looks.
Yep. So they gotta find the people that are troll them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Oh shit! What am I banning?
One of the sadder things I think, though.
What'd you say?
I think some people just get so into ranked because, you know, it's a status symbol and everybody wants to feel good. But eventually it becomes rolling the dice on win-loss ratios, and then like a bunch of people playing in autopilot to the point that they're not even learning anymore.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what I try and tell people too. Like, if you're playing like 10 games a day, you got to realize that your mentality, like up until like the 6th or 10th game, you're just gonna be like playing like a robot. Like, you're not gonna be thinking as crucial as you should be.
Mm-hmm.
Breaks are your friends. Yes, I agree. Anyone watching the stream, you should definitely be doing... Sitting here, you should definitely be doing fucking wrist stretching, too. Like, as gay as that shit sounds, like... Play League for fucking 10 hours a day. You're gonna get carpal tunnel. Don't want that shit. Oh, who do we got? We got a very siegey team. Renekton? I don't know how to play against Renekton. The hell? What do I want to play? Play Poppy.
I'm no hero, just a yordle with a hammer.
Do you have any other questions, man?
This has been really good. I want to say thank you. Like, I learned a lot, especially about Janna. I'll start applying her passive more.
Good.
I'll start positioning away from that wall. I'll start moving in a direction to support movement, because honestly, I didn't think about the passive at all.
Yeah, nobody does. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good. Abuse it. But yeah, dude, if you ever have any questions, like, you got my Skype, so just hit me up on there, or if I'm streaming, come to the stream, or from, the quickest way would be Skype.
Okay.
Okay? If you ever got any questions or concerns or anything, just hit me up there, alright?
Alright. Thanks so much, dude.
Yeah, take it
I really
easy, man.
appreciate it. Alright. You too.